4 months ago, I did a video about the WordPress Gutenberg editor. So it was pretty much a demo just to see what it looks like under the hood. So in this video, I'm going to do the same. I would really want to go in and see what has changed because it's been 4 months now. And before we get started, if you're new to WordPress and want to learn how to design websites using WordPress, I have a free course which you can enroll right away by clicking the link in the description below. Okay, so before we get started, let's take a look at the reviews and see what people are saying. So right now, I've done a quick search of the Gutenberg plugin, and as we can see, it's not looking very good. It looks like it's a 50-50 situation. So I was really expecting to see more people here leaving positive reviews. However, sometimes the way I look at this is these reviews could also be people that are not really happy with change and they don't like, how dramatic the change is. Okay, so let's dive in and let's take a look. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into my pages and just go into my normal page. So I'm going to click on edit. And just so you know, the page or the theme that I'm using is just the default WordPress theme. So as you can see, visually, nothing really has changed. I mean, the one thing that caught my eye is the update button. It's all the way up here at the top. Okay, so every time you make a change here, you can just go to the top and click update. I guess that's really cool. And also this gear icon, I don't remember seeing this. But anyways, let's start adding our content and see how this looks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open Lorem 2 because I use this website to add my dummy text. Okay, so I'm just going to copy a bunch of text here and let's start adding our story. Okay, so I'm going to click here and paste. Okay, so right now, as I mouse over this area on the right, I can see we have more options. I don't remember seeing this. And if it was there, it has improved because I can do quite a lot of things here. And also, if you click on this area here, you notice that you also have more options here on the right. Okay, so we have our usual custom size. We can increase the size of this text just by dragging this slider. And over here, you also have the ability to add a background color. So I can, let's say, for example, add that color here. And we can also add a text color. And one thing that I like about what has just happened here is as soon as I added that background color, notice here we have a note here. This color combination may be hard for people to read. Try using a brighter background color or a darker text color. Now, this is very, very important because this is something that I talk about pretty much most of the time in my videos because people don't really use contrast the right way. They have a really dark background and dark text on top of it, or a light background and light text on it. So I think WordPress has done a very good job here by trying to make people add information that is easier to read. So I think that's a very good move. But what I've noticed here is when I added my paragraph text, it split it into 2 different paragraphs, which I can go in and adjust differently, which I don't think is a good idea because ideally I want to go in and make this change once and for all. So let me just do that one more time so you can see what I mean. So I'm just going to delete this here again. So when I paste my text here, this is just one paragraph. I'm expecting this to be in one block. But as you can see, this has split it into 2 blocks. So here are the options of this first block. And then over here are the options for the next block. I don't really like that. And I don't know why WordPress did that. Okay, let's take a look here and see what we can add. So things are the same when it comes to adding a block. So if I click this plus button, we have all our blocks. And from what I see here, I don't see any new ones. So let's try and add some columns and see if there's any adjustments to our columns. So again, we don't have much to do here in terms of the columns. All we have is advanced CSS, and we also have the ability to add our columns. So that's pretty much what we have. So again, if I enter some content in here, it just goes into the 2 columns. Right. The other thing as well, which I mentioned in the previous video, is the ability to work with sections. Right now, there's no way for me to adjust my width over here. In fact, let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to save this. In fact, I'll click update. Okay, so now I'm just going to view this page in a new tab. Right, so if we take a look here, This is where my content is. So if I wanted this covering my width, so far there's no option to do that. However, you can use a theme called Astra or Ocean WP. Those do a very good job of giving you a very good layout. But I'm hoping that when WordPress 5.0 comes out, they will have a theme that gives us these basic options. Okay, so back over here, let's start adding more content. So over here again, post updated, we can also view the post here once it's updated. Okay, so if I click this plus button again, I can add a cover image and we can upload an image from the computer or from the library. So let's add an image here and see if we had more options. Again, we don't really have a lot of options. All we have here is background dimness. Okay, pretty much that's it. If I come over here to the advanced, nothing is there. Okay, so I notice here there is fixed background. So you can toggle this on and off. But there is no way for us to adjust our width, which is pointless really. Okay, let's see what else we have. So we also have blocks, embeds. So we can add embedded YouTube videos here. So let me go to my YouTube channel or just to YouTube and add a video. Let's see what it looks like. Let's just go with any video. Okay, I'll go with this one here. So I just want to see what it looks like. Again, this video here has this white space and that's not really good. There's no way to adjust this as well. So you can see over here, I don't have the ability to make changes to that. And maybe let me try here on more options. So you can only edit the HTML. That's that. Okay, so I can't really do much here. Let's take a look here on the bottom, add cover image. Okay, so pretty much this is what you have when you embed the video. There's nothing much you can do with this. So I think more work needs to be done here. Okay, so let's come over here again. Let's see what else we have. So we have the spacer now, which I think is good. Let me add it and let me see if we can customize this as well. Yep, so if I drag here, I'm just dragging from the blue dot there. We can add this spacer, which I think is good because before, if I recall, this is the problem that I was having because I couldn't do much with it. Okay, now I'm not sure if you noticed what happened there. I was just trying to move the spacer up, but as I was doing that, my video disappeared. I have no idea where it went, which is strange. Okay, so let's see what we can do with this spacer. So over here, we can adjust the height in pixels. So let's say we add 4. I really like that. So we can add the spacer now and not have a color to it. So that means if you want to have spaces between your blocks, you can always add the spacer and it won't leave a line. If you recall from our last video, there was a line which was visible, which was really, really annoying. So this time they've made an update, which I think is great. Okay, but over here, I'm still wondering, okay, now it's back. So I don't know what that was all about. Okay, and let's see if we have any more options here for the spacer. If I go to an advanced, okay, all we have here is just the advanced CSS. Okay, so they have added quite a few things. I may be missing quite a lot here because I'm just trying to see what else has been added to this. Okay, I haven't seen this verse. Okay, let's try and add something in here. In fact, let's go to Lorem 2. So I'm curious to see what this verse does. Okay, let's save this page and do a quick preview. Okay, so I've just updated my page and then I'm going to refresh and then see what happens. Okay, so pretty much that's what it looks like. I don't know if that is even useful, but you never know, But yes, that's the verse. Okay, so again, if I come over here, let's take a look at what other blocks they have. They have the list. So I can see there's quite a few that has been added. Also have latest posts here, categories, embeds. So we also have the social media stuff, which is great. We also have shared blocks. Okay, so as I take a look at this, I can see there's been some updates to editor, but there isn't much that I can say this is a huge leap. I mean, especially over the time of 4 months. And if WordPress is going to be really serious about this. I think a lot more work needs to be done, and also this needs to have more and more options. Now, the reason why I'm saying this, it may sound like I'm being harsh with WordPress, but let's take a look at what they are saying about the plugin. So I'm going to come back over here to our plugins. Okay, so let's take a look at the description here. Gutenberg is more than an editor. While the editor is the focus right now, the project will ultimately impact the entire publishing experience, including customization, the next focus area. So, you see, the way I look at this statement here is this is not just an editor, as they're saying. So the moment you say that, it means now we are now moving into the area of turning this into a page builder. Pretty much similar to Divi, Elementor, or Beaver Builder. So having said that, that means a lot of work has to be done in order to have these things in place. So as I was doing my demo, you could see that you're very, very restricted. In fact, I would say this is about 10% of what these page builders can do right now. So if this is going to be an experience, which is more than just an editor, a lot has to be done, most definitely. So over here as well, if you take a look at the stages of Gutenberg, it also says Gutenberg has 3 planned stages. The first, aimed at inclusion in WordPress 5.0, focuses on the post-editing experience and the implementation of blocks. Can't read. Okay. Okay, so that makes sense. So maybe the main focus is just to make sure that when WordPress 5.0 comes out, this entire experience has to work completely flawless together. So maybe that's why we're not getting a lot of these updates. So hopefully moving on, we are going to be seeing some more updates where these blocks and all these content areas work well, and there'll be more options of how to customize them. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take a look again in the coming months. Hopefully this won't be too long until we get WordPress 5.0. Okay, so that's all I have for you in today's video. What do you think about the current state of Gutenberg? What are your views? What do you think moving forward? Do you think more work needs to be done with this editor, or do you think that this is just good for beginners? But if anyone wants to take this to the next level, then they need to move to a page builder. I want to hear your thoughts, so leave that in the comments box below. And also, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, if you want to learn how to design websites using WordPress, I have a free course which you can sign up for right away. The link to that is in the description below. If you're new to the channel, please do go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell notification. By doing so, you'll be notified every time I release new videos. Until next time, thanks for watching and see you soon.